Hey folks, I'm back because it's time to talk, and so I'm going to keep it rolling. I really have been enjoying the interaction with people. I want to thank people for being kind. I think that's important, to be kind. Thank you. And I'll address another question that came up. A couple came up yesterday from the JFK Beatles video. I answered one. Someone wanted to know what I think of the current state of hip hop, and what I told him is crap, But another person, someone who I'm happy to see that you still watch me, because I think we've had the differences in the past or some kind of misunderstanding. But the person asked me, what do I think of Jesse Ventura? And that's a great question because I've met Jesse Ventura. So I can really tell you what I think of him because I've been in his presence. And one of the things that I recognize about me, some people are good at cars, some people are good at things. I am fallible like anyone else. But when I'm in your presence, I can get a lot of information about you, everyone. I've traveled, and I found this to be true everywhere, even in different cultures. Jesse Ventura is a good man. I'm going to qualify my experience on the same day, not that I have to, but I just want to put it into context. On the same day that I met Jesse Ventura, and in the same situation, I met Colin Powell. Colin Powell, however you say it, with all of his Secret Service people. And Colin Powell was not impressive. And I was this close to both men. I could feel, not only talk to them, but I could feel their presence as people. I could sense their heart. I mean all this. Anyone that knows me and knows what I do know this is how I am. I'm not making this shit up. And Colin Powell, Jesse Ventura is the kind of man that I align myself with, okay? That's my answer. Not Colin Powell. I met other people. I've been around some people, and some of the people that we're supposed to revere and respect have been some of the emptiest husks of humans that I've encountered ever in my life. That's why I insist on speaking my piece, and I'm just, I'm not going to back down. I see what I see. It's not that it's right or it's wrong, it's what I see. And I'm just damned if someone else is going to say, well, because you see something a certain way, I have to see it that way. Oh, no. Oh, no. Mm-mm. Excuse me. I wanted to answer that question. Yeah, Jesse Ventura is cool. Very cool. So, people keep letting me know that they like it when I go to the shelves and pull stuff, so I will today. I want to again explain that my record collection is a hodgepodge because of my own personal history, which is namely that I come from a lower income. And so when I start to show you records, there will be records that you would think that I have them. And the answer is some records that you think I would have, maybe I did and I don't have them now, maybe I did at one time. There's other records that I would like to have now, but the reason why I don't is money. And another thing is that whenever I bought a record, there were 100 records that I wanted to buy as well at the same time. So, but let me just go over here and entertain you for a second. So, I've done this a few times, and I'll just start right here, okay? And what's on the end here? Fire Ballet. On the end is Fire Ballet, American prog rock band. again, a perfect example to me where the band should have just kept their mouth shut. The music's great. So we got Fire Ballet on the end. The next one is, oh, it's so far away you can't see. Fire Ballet. Fire in the Kitchen. Okay. Let me get someplace closer where it's easier to just kind of show things. I've done this in part before, so let's. Okay, we know this is my Genesis section. Okay, so here we are in the this is the H's and the I's. Here we have my Hendrix going into Higgins. I got my own section here. So let's start after that with, I'll just grab a few. Immunity by Rupert Hinde. Englishman who's done a lot of production as well as bands, Quantum Jump and stuff. His voice is, again, voice is the thing that I must be, you know, it's like the voice I can do without most of the time. Him, remixes, folks associated with Tortoise. What is his name? Bundy? Brown? Excuse me. Well, this is remixed by Taka. Yeah, Bundy K. Brown. Him. Here we have Sworn Eyes. Double album by him. Bubblecore Records. Holger Hiller. This is a 12-inch single called Johnny. I really like this guy, Holger Hiller from Germany. Getting into the Steve Hillage here. Aura. Aura, that's what we got. Just grab those right quick. Where did we go? Just right. Here we go. Okay, so again, these were a little bit out of order. I just really don't have a lot of what is considered, what I think is typical in people's collections. I don't have it. There's no, for me, there's no reason. And I wanted to make a comment on that. It was like, you know, it's cool, Buddy Bopper. You say, well, I didn't think you'd ever talk about the Beatles. I have spoken about the Beatles actually in several videos. Of course, I've made over 1,000 videos. Of course, you haven't seen them all. But I will say this in response to that, is that the great majority of people talk about the same artists so much. What would be the point in me? There's so much more. I've said it and I'll say it again. There's so much music out there. Why the continued focus on such a small amount of music and artists? I don't see it. I'm starting to switch gears in my mind, so I'm not going to go much further here. But down here, like for example right here, we'll just grab these. M83, Before the Dawn Heals Us. Meat Beat Manifesto. This one, I love this. Storm the Studio, Meat Beat Manifesto. Here's some beautiful, what they call New Age music. David, Michael, and Randy Mead. Petals in the Stream. English folk singer, fantastic singer, Ralph McTell. You Well-Meaning Brought Me Here. Joe McPhee, Poe music on Hat. Oleos and Jazz. And the fantastic Hat label. Electro-Surrealistic Landscapes by Priscilla and Barton McLean. No, it's not the typical crap. And I will say the word crap. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. John McLaughlin, Al Di Meola, Paco de Lucia, Passion, Grace, and Fire. So again, that's another example of what is in here. There is, I've done it in that video before, and I'll say it again. And am I picking on Madonna? A little bit, yeah. There is no Madonna over there, hidden. There is Melvin's, though. A big part of what I don't like about some of the biggest mainstream music that is popular is that it is so crafted and manufactured that when I hear it, the first thing it tells me is that this is a product. This was meant for a market. This is not art. This is not real. Even if it is real, some of that stuff is real for people. But to me, the first thing that I'm smacked with is the everything's been rounded off the edges, and this has been made to be so that it can be understood and easily consumed, and that just offends the holy hell out of me. So that's just where I'm at with commercial music, and have been for a long time. But I can listen to it and enjoy it when the mood strikes me. I think the only other thing on my mind is to keep saying how thank you for not being mean, people. Thanks. There's just enough meanness. Even when I express, my feelings, I'm not intending to be mean at people. I'm expressing myself. And, one of the things I've been doing in watching videos is I'm looking at history again, because in school I didn't like history mainly because I could tell that they weren't telling us the truth, especially being black, and the way that slavery was handled in public school at the time. It's like I was just a child, but I just knew this is fucked. This is, they're not telling the story here. They're not telling the whole story here. And it just is always in my mind, about our culture, about how things just are not representative of the real. I tell you, I don't like how I'll be thinking about something and then I'll get another train of thought, and it'll feel like I've lost what I wanted to say, and I have to kind of think for a second. That happens a bit. Maybe it's age. No big deal. But yeah, there's just it's back to me just thanking people again for being nice, and how what I've been doing. I haven't been watching a lot of VC videos. What I've been watching is, like I said, documentaries, and I've been watching some history lately. And kind of been going back into looking at the history of power in the world, and how it goes and how it's gone, and it is true that by necessity man is fairly animalistic and fairly barbaric, that we're territorial and that we have to protect ourselves, but I don't think that my ideas of peace and harmony are completely just adolescent dreams. There is a lot of proof in history that there have been many periods of time and places where man was living in great harmony for great periods, where turmoil amongst the people was minimal. And then here come these factions, and then how religion is played into a lot of the bloodshed. It's like, I just, and it just looks like madness to me, and yet I look at the world and I look at the people around me, and it's like, oh yeah, this is, and I'm just thinking, this is madness. Just madness. So, to me, the idea that I can conceive it means that it's possible, that it's within mankind, that this benevolent charge and this idea that we can rise above the animal in us is possible, to put them in some kind of balance. It seems possible. So these thoughts never leave me, and they're a part of my mental framework, partially to do with the reality of my living situation, which is I'm a poor guy struggling like everyone else to make a living, and looking at the way the system is set up, it looks to be so top heavy and so unfair that these issues just pretty much never escape my thoughts. something is always happening to remind me of the inequity of life and how I perceive the majority of public figures as just complete buffoons and just heinous liars, in it for themselves, just in it for themselves. I don't know that I could have done any better if I were in their position, but I still will express my outrage about it when I feel like it, because life is so tough for so many people, isn't it? I mean, if you're one of the lucky ones that happens to have a good job, or you come from good money, or whatever your situation is, well, good for you, you know. But fuck, some rough times, if you ask me. Rough times.